Hey there, friends and neighbors. Brent here for Pastor's Farm. Welcome back to the farm. So we have got a slew of projects that are largely completed. We've got to get some of them finished. Today is cloudy and roughly 65 degrees, but we've got rain and cold weather coming here kind of in waves over the next 10, 12, 14 days. So we've got to get some of these projects wrapped up before that hits. So we're going to be kind of all over the farm in this one, and it's probably going to be a compilation of maybe 2 or 3, maybe even 4 days worth of work, kind of all strung into one. So y'all hang out with us and let's get some stuff done. Well, that puts a damper on things. Some people will tell you that your roost bars have to be perfect, right? I mean, spit and polish, right? Level, no rough edges, rounded, whatever. People will say, it's got to be perfect. If these birds were allowed to go wild, they would not hesitate one bit to roost in a bush or a tree or on a low limb. Swaying in the breeze, tree limbs clearly aren't smooth and perfectly round and perfectly level and yada, yada, yada. However, the only thing you really need to be concerned about is making sure that you don't have one bird stacked on top of another, because they will defecate in their sleep overnight. If you've got another one down here, the one on the top decides to use the bathroom, the one on the bottom is getting a pretty gross shower. So make sure that none of your bars overlap. Other than that, they'd be fine in a tree. This section here is cracked. As you can see, this is coming into the 3-point attachment. Here's the other side, and it is a complete break here.
Over the course of the last hour-ish, we have doubled our wood pile. Looking at these two, you can tell which one is the older wood. It's certainly turned a little yellow there in the sun, and then this was just freshly split, still nice and white on the inside. $110-gallon tub. I think that's as high as we're gonna go. It's starting to get a little wobbly. Of course, it being so narrow, it doesn't take much to get that whole stack wobbling. And I've kept it off this wall here because I don't want termites or water wicking in here or anything else getting on this wood. So it's only touching in just a few select spots here and there. And you might think that leaving it out here is going to get wet, and it may get a little wet, but if you look right down here, you can see the drip line from the roof. So we are undercover for the most part. Some of this stuff that sticks way out here may get a little bit of moisture on it, but that's south right there. So it's going to get sun, other than when it's not blocked by these couple of trees here. It will get sun pretty much all day long as the sun is shining anyways. And that's going to help all this dry out even more. Got it all welded up, got some reinforcements put in place, and threw a little paint on there just to keep that new metal from rusting. Although that's probably the least rusty thing on here. We may, in the next year or so, refurb this box blade. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. If you've ever refurbed a box blade and it worked out well, let me know. Because of the nature of this thing, I don't think repainting necessarily will be the right move, because it's just going to scratch or peel right off. So maybe some type of automotive paint or some type of self-etching primer paint combo would be the way to go. I don't know. We'll see. Looks pretty good to me. It's definitely better than it was. It is all in one piece. That's an improvement. In case you're wondering, yeah, it's broke. Both bones of my forearm broke. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that with the background the way it is, but the pipe is up there. My wife was actually on the roof yesterday running the top part of the show while we worked on the inside. So my wife was up top running that show. We had to pull this up a little bit, get these pipes separated here, get this damper put in, and then get all that resealed back in ahead of the rain that came in last night. And I am happy to say I don't see anything that looks like fresh water. All the stuff that's on here is from before. So I think we improved there with that and improved our seals. Progress, progress, progress. We had rain, started about 6 p.m. yesterday and rained pretty heavily off and on all night long. You can see we've got some wet wood in here. A little bit here and there. There's a little bit there, there's a little bit down here. And we've got some wet spots down here. I suspect it's probably splash from where it's hitting the ground here. And over the course of a 8, 10, 12 hour rain event, it just got saturated. But for the most part, Stuff looks pretty dry to me.
So I don't know when or how this happened, but our original camera has seen its better days. Not a clue what happened there, but I was able to do a little bit of an upgrade here. This camera was, I think, DJI's first go round, and it wasn't bad for what you got out of it. I will say that the battery life on this thing was horrendous. I had the original battery, and then I bought a spare set of 3 with a separate battery bank charger, I guess. You could plug 3 in there at a time, and then you would be running the 4th one in here. So you could always have a fresh battery, but they just went so fast, especially if you were running 4K or even more so 4K HD. If you were doing time lapse or something like that, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, running stuff that required high resolution and high storage capacity, it burned through these batteries. Big improvement with this one. The battery that came with it lasts significantly longer, regardless of how you're using it. It still does drain faster doing video in 4K or HD, or 4K and HD, than, say, a time lapse. But even the lifespan in those capacities are still significantly better than the original. And this has a bunch of new features in it too. It's got zoom, which the original one did not have. You can zoom, I think, up to like 3 or 4 times. I have noticed that when you zoom in, it tends to get a little pixelated. So they still got some improvements to do there, but for what it is, it's good. The original one was not waterproof. This one, they claim, at least, I'm not going to try it, they claim is waterproof. So there's a step up there. And this one comes with this big lens cover on top of it. While that one came with the lens cover, it was not anywhere near what this one is. And it created a real bad fishbowl effect. This one doesn't seem to do that. Now I will say this one has an underwater filming feature on it. And with this lens cover on here, that creates a fishbowl. So you have to make sure that when you're using it, you don't have the underwater feature turned on, or you get some distortion, especially along the bottom of your screen. I've noticed that the microphone on this performs a little bit differently, so you'll probably notice in some of the shots over even the last couple of videos I've done, you'll notice like some wind noise, or maybe you can't hear me as well. I'm still toying with it, trying to figure out exactly what the best settings are for this thing. But hopefully this is an improvement. If y'all notice an improvement, let me know. So this thing here, broken right here, clean in 2, and then on the outside here broke essentially this little nub or spur, I don't even know what you call it. That little part right there chipped off on this outside. This was not a farm injury. This was an off the farm job injury. I had a whole slew of projects planned for this video, and I got, I'd say, about halfway through them before this happened. And about all we've done since this happened is just feed and water birds. And as I mentioned, family came up and we were able to get the stovepipe squared away. But I think this is probably going to just about do it for this video. I've got one other thing that I did do. We had been using straw out of our pastures in our nesting boxes for the chickens, and we went away from that because we were having problems with straw falling on the floor and then chicken waste coming down on top of that, and it's kind of starting to pack in. So we took all the straw out. We're going with these. It's I had indoor outdoor carpet from Lowe's, and this stuff was on sale for like 23 cents a square foot. So took all the straw out and put these in our nesting boxes for our hens to lay in.
All right, y'all, that's going to do it for us on this one. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Hope you enjoyed it. We'd love to have you stick around a little bit longer. Hit that subscribe button down there below. Give us a thumbs up. We certainly would appreciate it. To my fellow Americans, happy Thanksgiving. If you are traveling, we wish you safe travels. See y'all on the next one. Bye.